Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In our last video, we have learned about PTE reading task, how to incorporate the concepts and strategies in two different tasks under PTE core reading, which is multiple choice, multiple answers, and one more is fill in the blanks, right? And in today's video, we are going to look about the other task in PTE core reading section as how to incorporate the concepts and strategies in the remaining tests. So let's get started. When we're talking about reorder paragraphs, so your job is to arrange the sentences in a logical way, right? So here the concepts covered are logical sequencing, which means you should understand the flow of ideas, which comes first, then next, later, and then ends with a final conclusion, or it could end with a suggestion, or it could be like any action or your opinion. Got it? And the second one is cohesion, recognizing how sentences are connecting with each other. This is also pretty important. So keep a note of it. And the strategies are you need to identify the topic sentences. Look for sentences that introduces the main idea and look for transition words. You know about the transition words, right? So words like however, therefore, and furthermore, these words indicate relationship between sentences. So you need to look for these transition words and pronoun reference. This is also pretty important. Ensure pronouns refer to appropriate antecedents because pronouns always refer to another noun, right, which has been already mentioned in the paragraph or in the sentence. So look for pronoun reference. So here is an example. It's just a simple example. Sentences are given, but that's not in the order. So let's see it. Therefore, implementing renewable energy sources is essential. Climate change poses significant risk to our planet. One effective solution is the adoption of renewable energy. So these are the sentences, but you will be getting more sentences in your exam. It's just for your reference. Now, your job is to identify which will come first, which will come next, and then which will come at the end. Based on the strategies and the concepts, kindly identify it. And once you're done, we'll move on to our right answer. So the correct order is first comes B. Climate change poses significant risk to our planet. Okay, and then C. One effective solution is the adoption of renewable energy. Then comes A. Therefore, implementing renewable energy sources is essential. Got it? Here, sentence B introduces the problem, and C, it presents a solution. And finally, if you look for the sentence A, it concludes with a recommendation. Simple, isn't it? Now let's see the next task, reading, fill in the blanks. Okay, so here the concepts covered are vocabulary and contextual clues. So when we're talking about vocabulary, understanding the word meanings and the usage based on the context. Got it? And contextual clues. Using surrounding text, you need to infer the correct word, the right word. And the strategies here are predict before choosing. So you need to anticipate the word that fits before looking at options. Okay, and check for grammatical fit. Kindly ensure the chosen word maintains sentence structure and use contextual understanding. This is very important. You have to consider the overall meaning of the passage. Okay, let's see an example here. The sentence given here is the chef added a pinch of dash to enhance the flavor, and the options are salt, book, run. Of course, everybody knows the answer is salt, right? because that is the only option that makes sense in the context of cooking. So always look for your contextual understanding, and then you have to check for grammatical fit. Sometimes you need to look for whether a noun or a verb or an adjective should come in the blank or not. Okay, and you have to predict before choosing. Once you read the sentence, you should be able to predict the answer before choosing. Now let's move on to our next task, multiple choice, choose single answer. Okay, so here multiple choice will be given, but you need to choose a single option, single answer. Here, the concepts covered are main idea identification. So you have to determine the primary focus. What is the main focus of the passage given? And detail recognition. So noting specific information which supports the main idea or the supporting details. You should able to identify what are the supporting details that follows the main idea. Okay, and strategies are, you have to read the question first, of course, that's very important. Understand what information you are seeking and eliminate incorrect options. So you have to discard choices that are clearly wrong or not supported by the text. Okay, kindly discard those choices and choose the best answer. Yes, select the option which is most accurate, which reflects the passage main point. Kindly choose that option. Here is an example given. The passage topic is about the impact of social media on communication. And the question here is, what is the main idea of the passage? So you'll be getting a passage based on the topic. So here the topic is about the social media on communication. The question here is, what is the main idea of the passage? Okay, you have read the passage. Imagine you have read the passage, which is about the impact of social media on communication. And the options given here are, social media has no effect on communication. Social media has transformed the way people communicate. Communication methods have remained unchanged. People prefer face to face communication over social media. So, here the right answer would be, social media has transformed the way people communicate, because in the passage it discusses how social media has changed communication methods, making the second option the most accurate. So when the passage is given, you have to read the question, try to understand the question first and eliminate the incorrect options and try to choose the best option. Now let's discuss some of the common pitfalls that you need to avoid. Rushing through passages. No, don't do that. Take your time to understand the content fully. Okay, and ignoring the context clues, which is very, very important thing. Okay, don't ignore the context clues. You have to use the surrounding text to get the right choices, to understand which option would fit in properly. And overlooking grammar rules. You have to ensure your selections fit grammatically within the sentence. Okay, and neglecting to review answers. Yeah, many of us will do it, right? We just avoid to review our answers. Please don't do that. Always double check your response for accuracy. Okay. Remember, consistent practice and a clear understanding of these concepts and strategies are key to excelling in the PTE core reading section. Focus on building your vocabulary, honing your grammar skills, and developing effective reading techniques. With dedication and the right approach, you will be well on your way to achieve a high score. Happy studying. That's all for today's video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more PTE core tips. Bye bye.